Hello and welcome to Business Insider with Mario Toneguzzi on YYC Business, brought to you by MegaPixx Media. Joining me today is Sureshkuma, who is a counselor with the Calgary Counselling Centre. It's a mouthful. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Mario. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Well, it's been interesting times, obviously, with the pandemic hitting us here for the last 18 months. Question I have for you, and through your experience, Anne, at the center is, are we in a mental health crisis?
Good question. Well, I think that's a huge statement. Well, it has been a mental health crisis, but we've been doing pretty well is what I want to say. There's been tons of support. People have been proactive. Humanity as we are, we always survive. So the survival instinct has definitely kicked in. People are reaching out and there's tons of support.
What kind of impact have you guys been hearing there that the pandemic is having on people in Calgary?
So when we look at it, for example, Mario, in terms of our center, there definitely has been an increase in terms of the intakes compared to last year. So when we think of 2020 and we look at the stats from 2019, there has been a 5.4 increase for sure. However, right, there's been support, and the issues why people are seeking counseling continue to be the same: depression, anxiety, family and couple relationships, stress, those kind of things. But definitely COVID has been a factor that has been impacting people's lives.
What would you say is, I know that, mental health is a big, it's a big term because it encompasses so much, and you did, touch base on some of those ways it can manifest itself. Is there anything in those, whether it's depression or whether it's anxiety, that you're seeing more and more of cases these days?
So here's the thing, Mario, when uncertainty kicks in, anxiety does kick in as well, right? So with the pandemic, what we continue to see is, as we all now have shared lived experience, is the uncertainty keeps going on and on, right? There've been brief areas or times when we're kind of relaxed, and then it kicks in, and then we go on with it. So we definitely, that's a natural response, right, to the uncertainty. But overall, if you think about it, people have been managing well, and counseling has been helping a lot. So that's the things, I guess.
Yeah. So when you look at the length of time, when we're in, this length of uncertainty, does that contribute as well, more so?
For sure. It does. It does.
Mm-hmm.
It does. Yeah.
So, and are you seeing anything in terms of interesting, in terms of the breakdown between, say, gender, male and female, that are seeking support, or young or old that are seeking support?
Okay, so in terms of gender, I don't think we have enough data at this point to say or to make a statement. However, in terms of help-seeking behaviors, of course, we continue to see that older people not as much, but we do see there has been recently in the last few years, I want to say, there has been an increase for sure, right? But it's usually, obviously, when it comes to counseling and online counseling and things like that, the people who are being more proactive are, I would say, middle-aged and younger folks, right? But we do see a slow, even increase in terms of help-seeking behaviors with seniors as well.
Okay, and I guess the message is out there is that there is a lot of support, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's a key for people if there's having issues, to seek the support, not to do it on their own.
Yeah, please talk to someone. And when you talk to someone, what you start realizing is you're not alone. You're all in this together. And that in itself starts, supporting recovery.
Yeah. Now, obviously, I don't know, Anne, how long have you been at the center?
4.5 years now.
Okay, so you've experienced what's happened here in Calgary in the past. Now it's almost 7 years actually, with the collapse of the oil prices and the downturn of the economy, a lot of people losing jobs, etc. It's been a tough time for Calgary, hasn't it, for the last few years?
For sure, it has been tough.
Yeah. Any words of advice for people out there? Like what kind of things can they do if they're experiencing some emotional turmoil in their lives? What kind of things outside of obviously calling and seeking support from services like yourself, and there's many others in the city, but what kind of simple things can they do to help them get through each day?
Simple things, to put it very in basic terms, Mario, I want to say, like, learning to focus on things that you can control versus things that you can't control. That in itself gives you a sense of agency, right? On any given day, working on your routine, taking one day at a time, being more mindful, right? Paying attention to your thoughts and the different areas of your life and what are you allowing you to influence you at any point of time, right? Being mindful of what kind of information you continue to put in your mind and head, those kind of things. Right?
Okay. And have you dealt with many suicidal tendencies during this time?
Not necessarily. So here's the thing, we're not a crisis center,
Yeah.
so we don't get those calls.
Oh, okay then. Okay
Yeah.
then. So though there are other agencies in Calgary that deal with that particular aspect of it. Okay, super. Anne, is there anything else that you wanted to mention about this, I guess, mental health and I guess the issues that we're dealing with right now in society and in Calgary in particular?
Absolutely. So I want to say, just based on my experience as a person, a fellow human being, as well as a counselor, is these have definitely been challenging times, but it's been amazing to see how humanity has come together and how we've been able to support each other, right? Not just in Calgary, but around the world. So I think we've learned so much. We've learned that we're resilient, that we have been able to accommodate, reorient ourselves, and just even change our whole way of life. So that's been amazing. And I think continuing to have a mindset of abundance versus scarcity, because once we start going that way, then, right, everything else kicks in. But I do recognize that it's hard. But all I'm trying to say is when it gets hard, please reach out, these tons of support, right?
Okay.
And you will be heard.
Okay, super. Well, thanks very much, Anne, for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Okay, that was Anne Sureshkuma, who is a counselor with the Calgary Counselling Centre. This has been Business Insider with Mario Toneguzzi on YYC Business, brought to you by MegaPixx Media. Thanks for joining us.